Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Berlin Foreign Policy Forum 2020. Now is the time for you to become involved in our interactive presentation of the Berlin Pulse survey results. We have launched the Berlin Pulse in 2017 with the idea to provide a guide to policymakers and experts on German public opinion contrasted with international expectations. And you will now have the chance to live vote some of this year's questions yourself. If you're registered on our virtual conference platform, you will now see next to your live stream window a polling window where you can enter your opinion and your results. Let's start right away with the first question that we have asked to the German public. The first question is, has the COVID-19 pandemic rather strengthened or rather weakened solidarity within the EU? Ladies and gentlemen, the polling starts now. Let me repeat the question. Has the COVID-19 pandemic rather strengthened or rather weakened solidarity within the EU? You can vote now, and you have about a minute for your vote. This is an important question that was also discussed in our first panel today morning, and it will also be discussed certainly later with Pedro Sanchez, the Prime Minister of Spain, the question of solidarity within the EU. Especially at the beginning of the pandemic, there was a lot of criticism towards the EU. But then, let me quote Ursula von der Leyen in April, Europe has become better and the world's beating heart of solidarity. I'm looking forward to see whether you share this impression, and I will afterwards present the representative results from the Berlin Pulse. The polling closes in a few seconds. The polling is closed, and we wait a few moments until we get the results from our technical team on the question, has the COVID-19 pandemic rather strengthened or rather weakened solidarity within the EU? Here are the results. 62% think of our live audience on our virtual conference platform that solidarity within the EU has been strengthened. 38% think that solidarity within the EU has rather weakened. That is a result which is rather similar to the Berlin Pulse and perhaps even more optimistic. In our Berlin Pulse, our representative survey conducted in September among 1,005 Germans, 49% said that solidarity within the EU was strengthened, 41% said that solidarity was weakened. A rather optimistic outlook on the European Union's performance during the pandemic. Let us proceed to our second question that we've asked to the German public this year. Our second question is, what is more important for Germany? Having close relations with the United States or having close relations with Russia? Ladies and gentlemen, for you, the polling starts now. Let me repeat the question. What is more important for Germany? Close relations with the US or close relations with Russia? A question that we've asked in the past several years, and you have now the opportunity to live vote this question yourself. Relations with Russia have certainly taken a downward turn this year, especially when it comes to Germany, with the case of the poisoning of the opposition politician Navalny, who was here in Berlin in the Charité. At the same time, there are many policymakers and politicians who say that we need to keep up cooperation with Russia in many crucial policy areas, from arms control to the Middle East, to achieve any results. Curious to see what you think. What is more important for Germany, close relations with the US or close relations with Russia? The polling is now closed. Again, we wait a few moments to see your result and the opinion of our registered participants on our platform. Here we go. That is a pretty clear result. 90% of you say having close relations with the United States is more important. Only 10% say that having close relations with Russia is more important for Germany. Let me tell you, the German public is a little bit more skeptical. There is a majority, 51%, who also say the United States is more important. But there are also 25% who say that Russia is more important, and 16% have no answer to this question and spontaneously decided to say equidistant. You can see the results here. Interestingly, the result from the United States increased from last year. Last year, 39% said the United States is more important. This year, it was 51%. And then let's move on to another challenging topic that we've just discussed this afternoon. We have asked the German public, if there is a new US-Chinese Cold War, how should Germany position itself? On the US side, on the Chinese side, or should Germany rather stay neutral? The polling starts now. Take the opportunity to live vote on our virtual conference platform in the live stream screen next to the live stream window. The question is, if there's a new US-Chinese Cold War, how should Germany position itself? Please vote now. We discussed this topic in length today afternoon with Kishore Mahbubani, Professor Nai, Stormy Annika Milner, and Kei-Yu Jin. And it was Kishore Mahbubani who argued that he doesn't find this term Cold War helpful to describe the relationship between the United States and China. Nevertheless, there are always conditions that could lead to such a Cold War, and the danger about a Cold War is that it can turn any time into a hot war over spheres of influences on national security. What do you think? A few seconds, and then the polling is closed again. I'm looking forward to seeing your results and your opinion on the question, if there's a new US-Chinese Cold War, how should Germany position itself? On the US side, on the Chinese side, or remain neutral? Here are the results. 40% say Germany should position itself on the US side. Only 2% say Germany should position itself on the Chinese side. And the remaining percentage says Germany should remain neutral. This is, again, to some extent different to our representative survey conducted for the Berlin Pulse. Here, a majority of Germans want to remain neutral, 82%. 12% want to remain on the US side and 3% on the Chinese side. And let me give you another comparative result, because we asked the same questions in a representative survey in the UK in cooperation with the British Embassy, with an interesting difference. Here, still 68% in the UK would like to remain neutral, but this is less than the 82% in Germany, and 28% in the UK want to stay on the US side, whereas 4% want to stay on the Chinese side in case of a new US-Chinese Cold War. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your participation. This was to give you an idea of our new publication and survey, the Berlin Pulse. You will find many more results, and especially a special part on transatlantic relations with a survey conducted after the November US elections. We also have a part with our cooperation partner, the Pew Research Center. They have asked many questions on the US side as well. Check out theberlinpulse.org for more results. Now we will have a few minutes break, and then we will come back with the Körber Global Leaders Dialogue with Pedro Sanchez, President of the Government of the Kingdom of Spain. See you back soon.